Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Matter. It is 4 a.m. on this Tuesday, June 9th.
And I'm Stephanie Ramirez. Thank you for starting your morning with us right here on Fox 5 and streaming on Fox Local. Here's what's happening today.
Right now, for a House vote today on Capitol Hill over ICE funding. This as emotions boil over in Western Maryland over an ICE facility.
Plus, a day at the park turns into every parent's worst nightmare. Two men allegedly trying to kidnap a 4-year-old child. What the girl's sister did to scare those suspects away.
And we are just 5 days away from the first ever UFC fight on the White House South Lawn. Inside of the last-minute preparations as backlash continues to grow. Your news at 4 starts right now. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you here with us at 4 a.m. as we get the day started. Yesterday, fantastic. This morning feels really nice, but enjoy it while you can.
That's why I ran out and then I ran back in the house. I'm like, oh my gosh, is today the day it's going to rain? I need to know. And then, no, Taylor said Wednesday. Right? One more day. Yeah.
Don't advance us too far into the rain. I know we need the rain, but I'm enjoying this weather that we're having right now. It's fantastic out there.
It's been fantastic. Doesn't feel that bad out there this morning. We're currently in the 50s to low 60s. Humidity is not an issue yet, but it will return starting tomorrow. So enjoy another comfortable day. Not going to see a ton of sunshine, but we'll get something out there with cloudy conditions across the area today. We'll keep things dry, seasonally warm, and then tomorrow we'll see the heat and humidity build with a chance for maybe some strong storms starting Wednesday afternoon. Jacqueline?
All right, Taylor, thank you. Gun legislation top of mind in Montgomery County today. County council members working to salvage a 2022 gun safety law after the Maryland Supreme Court ruled some restrictions were too broad. A public hearing will begin today at 1:30 p.m. Our Maureen Ume will have more details coming up at 4:30.
D.C. police are investigating a shooting near Rec Center in Northwest D.C. This happened around 7:15 last night, just steps away from the Banneker Recreation Center. Police say one man was shot and was taken to the hospital. No word at this time on that person's condition or any possible suspects.
3 women are facing charges accused in a Tyson's Corner shoplifting spree. Fairfax County Police tracking the suspects to Merrifield last week after they allegedly raided several clothing stores. Detectives used surveillance images and license plate readers to arrest the trio, recovering more than $4,500 in stolen merchandise. 18-year-olds Paige Page and Beautiful Barber were arrested along with a 17-year-old. Turning now to Capitol Hill, where today the House is expected to vote on a $70 billion package to fund ICE and Border Patrol.
And this comes as the debate over ICE presence in parts of Maryland ramps up. Fox 5's Melanie Alwick live in Hagerstown ahead of what we're understanding is a rally set for later this morning.
That's right. So the fight for funding over immigration enforcement is hitting home in Hagerstown as opponents plan another protest against a planned warehouse expansion and to turn that into a private detention center for some 1,500 people. The House of Representatives will vote today on a huge expansion of funding for immigration enforcement. $38 billion would go toward funding ICE, $22 billion for Border Patrol, and another $5 billion for the Department of Homeland Security. The bill narrowly cleared the Senate last week without amendments that would have added more accountability to ICE and CPB operations, such as body-worn camera requirements and reinstating an Office of Oversight. An amendment to ensure President Trump's anti-weaponization fund can never become a reality also failed. House Democrats plan to put up more amendments today, while Republicans are trying to hold ranks.
Democrats are going to throw up a whole bunch of roadblocks. We got to all stick together and get ICE and CBP funded.
House Democrats will be a hard no on the reckless Republican budget reconciliation bill this week.
The bill also includes billions to dramatically expand ICE detention capacity. The American Immigration Council says it would grow from what had been about 45,000 beds to as many as 100,000, depending on facility construction. The proposed detention facility in Hagerstown, Maryland, is an example of the administration converting warehouses into private detention centers. It has been subject to protests and legal challenges. Now, currently, the construction is halted because of a lawsuit by the state of Maryland on an environmental grounds. That protest is scheduled for 9 a.m.
President Trump attending last night's Game 3 of the NBA Finals between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs at Madison Square Garden. The commander-in-chief overwhelmingly met with boos, but there were some people in the crowd who did cheer on the president. President Trump, the first sitting president to attend an NBA Finals game. The Knicks lost to the Spurs 115 to 111.
We're going to take a live look outside this morning. There goes Fox 5's Cam at Fredericksburg, Virginia. It is a calm morning, a little light coat, but it's beautiful. It was a great day yesterday. No coat, in a dress, just fine outside.
It was nice to feel comfortable outside. So yeah, it's going to be another comfortable day, I think. We're not going to see a ton of sunshine. We'll get something out there. We'll keep things mainly dry. So current temperature readings mainly in the 60s for most of you, but we do have some 50s popping up for a couple of areas, mainly outside of the city. So again, early this morning, you may need a light jacket. We're going to keep the cloud coverage around. You can see that right here on satellite and radar. We do have some clouds passing through, very similar to yesterday's forecast, although we're going to keep it dry for one more day before we kind of see the switch flip a little bit towards the middle to later parts of the week. We'll get that summer-like weather trend returning. So we'll keep things kind of cloudy for most of today's daytime, and also a little bit cooler, kind of seasonal for this time of year. Low 70s at 9 a.m., mid 70s by noon, low 80s by 5 p.m. Here's what we're looking at in terms of afternoon high temperatures, similar to yesterday. Enjoy it because we're going to see the heat and humidity start to return heading into Wednesday. Jacqueline?
All right, noted. Thank you, Taylor. Well, to start in traffic this morning, we do have a crash on the express lanes. The inner loop in Annandale this morning crashed right after Virginia 236 and Little River Turnpike. All the lanes are blocked there, as you can see, but it does look like it's not causing too many delays. Just something to keep in mind if you're headed on those express lanes. I-95 southbound, some ongoing construction there between Marine Corps Base and Virginia 610. Traffic getting by in the left lane. Only just some minor delays, nothing to really be too concerned about at this hour. Outer Loop also having some construction that's been ongoing there between Clara Barton Parkway and Georgetown Pike. Traffic getting by in the left lane only, and the off-ramp to GW is closed. So your drive time seeing about 8 minutes right now between the two parkways. Turning now to the latest in the ongoing war with Iran. 2 U.S. Army pilots crashed in an Apache helicopter yesterday near the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says the soldiers are okay, but the cause for that crash is still unclear.
In the meantime, President Donald Trump is doubling down on optimism for a deal. Speaking with reporters last night in New York, the president saying a deal could be made in, quote, 2 or 3 days. This comes as Iran and Israel halted strikes against each other yesterday, but both sides have already threatened to resume attacks.
A December trial date has been set for the U.S. Army specialist accused of making big bucks off of the capture of former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Prosecutors say that Master Sergeant Gannon Ken Van Dyke made $400,000 on the raid using insider information to place 13 bets on the outcome. They claim that he tried to destroy evidence after collecting the cash.
President Trump has formally nominated Todd Blanche for Attorney General, the president's former personal lawyer, already leading the Department of Justice as acting Attorney General after Pam Bondi was fired back in April. Blanche is expected to face an uphill battle for his confirmation. All Senate Democrats and potentially some Republicans expected to oppose his nomination.
The Kennedy Center has removed President Trump's name from its website. However, the president's name does still appear to be up on the actual building. A judge has given the Kennedy Center until this Friday to remove the president's name from the building's facade. The same judge also ordered center leaders to reconsider plans to close for 2 years for renovations. Not clear if that will move forward.
The National Park Service wants to hear your opinion on President Trump's 250-foot triumphal arch near Arlington National Cemetery. So far, more than 1,700 public comments have been filed, most opposing the arch. The plan is facing pushback over traffic, safety, and the impact on views around the Lincoln Memorial. Public comments will be accepted through Monday. Federal panels will have the ultimate say on whether the project can move forward on federal land.
President Trump also wants to revive his nearly $2 billion anti-weaponization fund. The taxpayer money would be used to pay Trump's supporters who claim that they were victimized by the Biden administration. President Trump said that he would like to see Congress authorize those payments that could go to some of those that have been convicted of assaulting law enforcement on January 6th. Last week, the administration dropped the fund idea after major pushback from Republicans. A federal judge will hear arguments about the legality of the fund later this week.
When you hear about fighting at the White House, it's normally not like this. The UFC Freedom 250 literally kicking off this weekend.
Yeah, the fencing now up around much of the South Lawn. The fights will take place Sunday night, and other events happening before that include the official press conference on Friday. There's also a fan fest, a weigh-in, and a Zac Brown Band concert happening on Saturday.
Well, I think it looks incredible.
I want to know how this got approved.
Majority of people like it, and there's a lot of hype around it, but there are those people that are around there are against this, saying that's a barbarian act, is what I was told yesterday. Something I've never seen before at any other president's home location where they live, so I think that's pretty cool.
UFC's website says that the fight will be live streamed. In addition to the fights, Sunday's also President Trump's 80th birthday.
All right, time right now, 4:10. When we return, President Trump's plan to charge thousands of dollars for visa holders hits a snag, the latest ruling from a federal judge.
Plus, 2 men accused of trying to kidnap a young child at a park. How the brave actions of her sister were able to scare those men away. And as we head to break, a reminder to come out and see us for our next Zip trip this Friday. We're going to be out in Lorton, Virginia for our 4th Zip trip of the year. We're going to be out at Workhouse Arts Center starting at 7:45 in the morning, going until 11. We do hope to see you out there. Taylor?
All right, going to be a nice day, kind of cloudy, but we'll keep things dry today. Tomorrow, we'll see the heat and humidity start to build through the remainder of the week. I'll let you know how long that's going to stick around coming up after the break.